A fashion designer committed suicide in Indiranagar late last night. The cops are investigating the case. However, the incident took place at an apartment on CMH Road in Indiranagar. The deceased has been identified as 31-year-old Abhijata. Abhijata was a Chennai-based fashion designer. A complaint has been registered in this regard at the Indiranagar police station. It is said that Abhijata was in love with a hotel owner called Rohit Jain, and she had recently bought the flat. She usually visited the city every month and had come down 5 days ago. This time she was found hanging in her flat. She has also left behind a suicide note claiming that Rohit had cheated on her, and that is why she took the extreme step. Unfortunate there that she fell in love, and it led to her going ahead and committing suicide, as the man she had in fact fallen in love with, Rohit Jain, a hotel owner, is said to have cheated on her, or so she claims in her suicide note. In fact, heart-wrenching scenes were witnessed in Indiranagar as her family could not come to terms with the fact that their beloved 31-year-old Abhijata was no more. It is understood that Abhijata had only recently purchased this particular flat. She was a resident of Chennai, a Chennai-based fashion designer. She lived with her family there but had bought this particular apartment in Indiranagar, and she used to frequent it probably once a month, and had come to Bengaluru about 5 days ago, and last night she was found hanging in her flat. 3 people died on the spot as a lorry rammed into a KSRTC bus. The accident took place near Yadgir bus stand. The deceased have been identified as 18-year-old Pooja, 6-year-old Ankita and 5-year-old Sangeeta. While 18-year-old Pooja and 5-year-old Sangeeta passed away on the spot, Ankita, 6-year-old Ankita, succumbed to her injuries in the hospital. Few people who sustained injuries have been shifted to a nearby hospital for treatment. Very tragic incident coming to light there. It is understood it always looks like the lorry rammed into the bus from the side, and the unfortunate ones sitting at the window seats there paid with their lives. In fact, the impact was so bad that 18-year-old Pooja, as you can see, was almost pushed out of the bus, was sent flying out of the bus, and of course the kind of injury she sustained, she immediately passed away. Besides that, as you can see, 5-year-old Sangeeta also was shot out of the bus due to the impact and passed away immediately. In fact, several others were also grievously injured. Among them in a critical condition was 6-year-old Ankita, and while the doctors rushed to rescue her, it was a little too late as she succumbed to her injuries in hospital. Moving on, Namma Metro is all set to give you a memorable ride on its underground route. Here's a report on the same.
Metro is always a thing of joy. The joyous ride is so memorable. Now, Namma Metro is readying its underground route. A look at these visuals deep below the earth at a depth of 60 feet gives you a thrill, to say the least. 2 machines, Helen and Margaret, were used to bore this magnificent tunnel. Cement rings that adorn the tunnel are ½ feet in thickness and have the capacity to resist massive pressures. The tunnel is 5.6 meter in diameter and has a 2-foot pathway to facilitate passengers walking in case of a train dysfunction. The Metro East-West Corridor project between Bayapanahalli and Mysore Road runs for a distance of 18.5 kilometers. About 4.8 kilometers of this distance is taken away by the tunnel project, and this includes stations from Cubbon Park to Chinnaswamy Stadium to Vidhana Sauda to Vishveshwaraya Tower to Majestic and Magadi Road. As the depth is 60 feet underground, natural light and air are a far cry. Therefore, arrangements will be made for artificial light and ACs to help people. The stations are equipped with ventilators to facilitate heat dissipation. That apart, the walls of the tunnel are incorporated with massive cement segments that act as a shield.
We are right now below KR Circle nearby. We are in the tunnel between Central College, or we call Sir M. Vishveshwaraya Station, and Vidhan Sauda Station. We faced a lot of challenge in between these 2 stations while making tunnels. The rock available here is very hard, to the extent of 300 MPa. to compare with our ordinary concrete what we use for our houses, we use around M20 grade concrete in our houses. The rock available here was 300 MPa strength. So it was a challenge for the machine as well as for us. Now we have overcome, and the entire tunneling in east-west corridor is completed last month in March.
Each station is around 275 meters in length and is much broader than the elevated platforms. It will take some more time for work to finish. This time next year, you can realize your dream of hopping onto the metro underground and have a proud ride on it. Pavitra, News 9, Bengaluru.
Well, marriage is a joyous occasion for one and all, and couples try everything they can to make it memorable. We caught up with an NRI couple who have gone that extra mile to make their marriage truly memorable.
Invitation cards play a very important role in any marriage. The bride and groom take a lot of effort to ensure that their invitation card stands apart. But none can match the invitation card of this couple. The invitation card does less of inviting and gives more of history lesson to the invitees. Just a casual glimpse at the card and one can get a complete history of the Bhoganandishwara temple near Devanahalli. This special invitation card was printed for the marriage of Bengaluru-based couple Srinivas Raju and Purnima. When asked about the specialty of the invitation card, Srinivas Raju's grandfather seemed more enthusiastic to explain why such an invitation was chosen. If the first few pages give a glimpse of the history of Bhoganandishwara temple, the remaining pages explain in detail all the customs, traditions and rituals that were to be followed in the marriage. And not just that, the card also narrates their wedding vows. Srinivas Raju is a Holland-based software engineer who fell in love with his colleague Purnima, and the two wanted to tie the knot in a unique way and wanted to make everything about the marriage memorable. Many of his friends who arrived from Holland for the wedding were left in awe after they witnessed all ceremonies and rituals. The marriage ceremony was solemnized in the grand mandap right in the middle of the Bhoganandishwara temple. Such marriages not only re-emphasize our belief in love but also give us a glimpse of the glorious history from the bygone era. Bhimappa Patil, News 9, Chikbalapur.